Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're going live. Baltimore recap, part 2. And look who I got in tow, brother. Big Bear Island in the house. First time on the 84 channel, if I'm not mistaken. So this is a key issue. This is a key episode. And we're here to do a live. How are you doing, my brother?
Benny, I haven't seen you in like 2 days. I miss you so much, man.
You know, Andrew, I'm going to shoot straight with you, man. I missed you, bro. It's been a while.
We're like checking in on how our flights have been and stuff. And like, I'm like, how'd you sleep last night? It's kind of like a junior high boyfriend girlfriend thing almost, you know? It's like, did we spend too much time together?
Not in my book, man. Not enough. And we got a stacked and jacked chat in the house. Let me run through this. JP Budget Collecting, first man through the ropes. Biggie Shack, of course, in the house. The Madness in the Wild Bear. That's right. Good call. What else we got in the house? Bear Island Comics is in the chat, keeping people on ice. Thank you. Dre Van Doom.
You guys a punk.
Dre Van Doom, the book mover. D-Rump Comics. Steven Oates in the house. He's sowing his oats, man. Joe 47771. 90 MF Comics. YouTube is 90. TJ the Slab Dragon. Appreciate your well wishes, man. We did get home safe. Who Dat Comics. He says, I like these recaps. Well, you're gonna love this one, dude. We got a nice presentation here for you. We're gonna run you through some electrifying events that happened in Baltimore. And let me not forget my boy Rag 718. I met him at the con. NYC's in the house. Oh yeah. And yes, you have been knighted. I got a wrench on NYC.
Nice.
Unruly Simeon, my brother.
Hey, Lenny. I got 2 questions. I need to know what Biggie Shack means when he says Bear is the Russian NWO now. I need to know what that means. And I want to know if Steven Oates is any relation to Adam Oates, because when I was a kid rooting for my Detroit Red Wings, my favorite player was Adam Oates, baby. Because my name's Adam. If anyone didn't know, my real name is Adam. But I was a huge Adam Oates fan because he had my first name.
I thought it was Arnold this whole time.
Sometimes it is.
I was thinking Hall and Oates, you know, Sarah Smile.
Yeah, man.
Man Eater.
The list goes on and on.
Yeah, there's so many. And I think that was, to answer your question, I think that's a compliment. It means you're certified NWO, and the Russian part, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the Russian part was about, but I think it's good.
Okay, well, either way, if I've already gotten a compliment from Biggie Shack,
yeah,
my day is complete, so I'm good.
Shout out to 90. I can't go for that. No can do. Yeah, man, we both went to Baltimore Comic-Con, didn't we?
Did we?
Yeah.
The whole thing's kind of a blur, but I'm pretty sure we both went to Baltimore Comic-Con. We met up on day 2, I believe.
You were there like on Thursday.
Yeah, you were smart enough to get there on day 2, so as not to get burned out. You paced yourself a little better than I did, I think.
Oh, was the con open on Thursday? I didn't even know that.
No, but setup was. And waiting in lots and lots of lines to do setup in the convention. Let me just tell you, I met up with, Drew Manchu, by the way, picked me up at the airport. Thank you, Drew. He picked me and the great legend up at the airport. Drove us to a parking lot near what appeared to be like an abandoned train station or something. That was the staging area for all the exhibitors. So you got a whole bunch of like white vans full of comic books and like lighting and AV stuff in a parking lot. It's cold, it's windy, no one's happy. We're there for like 3 hours waiting for them to be like, okay, you can now go to the Baltimore Convention Center and set up. So we drive there, and we wait in another line for what felt like an hour and a half. It might have just been an hour. I don't know. I'm probably exaggerating. But we all had to pee, and we were hungry. So we got in there, we set up, and we finally, we got to begin our fun, which was, going out to eat and getting to the house and things like that, and the stuff we were looking forward to. But
you put in some work.
That was day one was maybe not the most fun. For me, my Baltimore Comic-Con experience got better and better each day as we went. So that's good.
I think that's true. And you were there a fifth day.
Yes, I spent more time at Baltimore Airport than anybody ever should. In fact, I believe you had already had your nightmarish flight home.
How'd yours go? Did you flew Spirit as well, right?
Yeah. Well, Discovery Bay was flying Delta. I was flying Spirit. We both had late flights on Monday, yesterday. And so but the Airbnb, you have to be out by 11 a.m. So that's a lot of time. Like his flight was 5:30, mine was 6:30. It's a lot of time. It's a big gap of time. So we just went to the airport and we're like, we'll check our bags and stuff. I go up to give my suitcase to Spirit Airlines, and they're like, sorry, you can't give us your bag until like 4 hours before the flight. So we just had to like walk around with my big old suitcase trying to find different places to hang out in the airport. We couldn't even go through security at that point. So,
oh wow,
yeah, a solid 6 hours for JB and 7 hours for me at the airport.
What?
Yes, I got a lot of reading done on my DC Universe app and my Marvel app. So,
wow, what's the best thing you read while you were in the airport?
I've been reading The Dark Knight Returns for the first time ever in my life.
Oh,
so yeah, Batman versus Superman seems to be very, very based on that comic book, and I'm almost finished with it. But
almost finished with it.
Yeah, it's quite good. I will say Frank Miller's art is probably my favorite part of it, which is surprising to me.
Wow.
The writing is up and down. Some of it's real good. Some of it doesn't age so well, if you know what I mean.
I do. Did you get to the beef part when Batman suits up and fights Superman?
Oh yeah, I have like 3 pages left in the whole story. So yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, I love that when he has a boot to his neck and he's like, "Don't ever forget, I'm the man that beat you." Like,
right.
Oh, that gave me chills, bro.
Yeah, there's some great one-liners in there for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. And like nuclear war stuff and Russia stuff, and it's so 80s. It's the most 80s thing I've ever read in my life.
Yeah.
Anyway, we probably got enough people here now for you to start your main story from the con.
Yeah, I think so. And what's up to my man Geek Strengths and Comics and Comics for Thomas? Good to see y'all. Well, so I teased it, and why don't I just jump right into the sketchbook? I teased it on part 1 recap. I said I'm gonna wait till I got Bear Island with me to go over the sketchbook because some shenanigans went down, you could say, with the sketchbook.
Kenny, hold on. D-Rump wants me to finish reading The Dark Knight Returns while we're just kidding. Go ahead. I'm just kidding.
I will say I did judge you a little bit when I'm like, you couldn't power through the last 3 pages, dude.
Listen, I'm a nervous flyer. Oh, also, here's what happened. I got on the plane. I put my phone into airplane mode. We're taking off, and the DC app wouldn't let me get to the stuff that I had downloaded to read offline. It wouldn't let me.
What's
a man to do?
True, and the libraries leave some to be desired on the DC app. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, they're not all the way there yet. I think they're still working on it. I hope they're still working on it. Yeah. But there's certain Nightfall issues that I haven't been able to find, and I'm like, really? I can't find Nightfall number 2?
Stuff you think would be there is not. But hey, the Titans show is worth the price of admission for your boy.
That's right. That's a great show. I'm a couple episodes behind on that. I'm not gonna watch that right now though, D-Run. So we'll just have to wait.
Yeah.
Anyway, you and I want to say something about the overall con experience, if I may, about my experience this weekend.
Please.
We had a very large group at the Comic Core of awesome people, absolutely awesome people. However, when you're in a large group like that, kind of feels like you're at like a junior high dance. Like you're like, I'll turn to this person and talk to them, and then I'll turn to this person and talk to them, and you don't really have a chance to have any like special interactions where you get to know each other. In order to do that, you got to walk the floor. You got to split off from the group with someone you dig, and you got to walk the floor. And that's what me and Denny here. Then we did that a few times. And one of those times we're like, let's find somebody new, some brand new artist to get a sketch from. And that's where this story happens. That's where things pick up.
That's true. Because as you know, for those that don't know, the sketchbook, that your boy's been working on, I brought it to the Boston Comic Con, and I got stuff like that, like the Catwoman, filling this thing up with the Batman's Rogues Gallery.
Beautiful.
Yeah, boom, and that was the last Boston Comic Core sketch.
Beautiful, and all in the appropriate order that you'd want your rogues.
Yep, in perfect order. And a new thing that I did for this con was I pretty much assigned the pages. Like before I left, I said, okay, there's 9 pages left in the book. So I wrote down and listed the 9 villains that I wanted to take up those pages on the inside before I do the big crescendo of the big Batman wraparound for the cover. I was going to save that for last because I'm probably going to splurge on that. And I wanted to go big on, because all the sketches I've been getting are like, mid-tier artists, some published on a major, some not, $75 to $100. But I'm like, I'm going to go hard in the paint on the cover. But anyway, that was for later. So why don't I show the first?
Real quick, we probably don't want to say the guy's last name because some of this is going to be negative. We can say I think we can say his first name, right?
You know what? We could probably just leave his name out until I'll just say dude. That dude.
Okay.
Yeah, his name is fine. And I got 3 sketches done at the con. He was the last one, the third. So why don't I just real quick show you guys the first 2 that I got done leading up to the last guy. And I'm going to do this, if you don't mind, for now. I'm just gonna
absolutely. Go for it.
Shrink Bear down.
I'm good.
First one on the list.
I'll just be a cub for now.
Yeah. I gave them the list, and they picked the guy they wanted. So the first guy picked Bane, brother.
Awesome.
Campagna was his last name.
Chris Campagna, I think, yeah.
Yeah. Very cool guy with a smoking hot girlfriend that was at his booth with him.
Oh, you should have gotten all the sketches there.
Yeah, I was tempted. What's up, Big C Wood? And then the second one by the legendary Bob McLeod. He's probably the biggest name that I have in this book. Bob McLeod. I gave him the list, and with his art style, I was like thinking, I hope he picks Joker, and he did. And he dropped this epic Bob McLeod style Joker in the sketchbook, brother.
I remember we stopped by his booth. It was like the 3rd time we stopped by his booth that it was finally done because you were so eager to get that sketch. We're like, let's go see if Bob's done with my sketch yet. And we a couple times he was just like, what was he working on, the hair or something? And it just wasn't ready yet.
Yeah, it took him, which I appreciate. He gave a little TLC. If I was to give one critique of it, he gave Joker a thick neck, man.
That is, Joker's been hitting the weights or something.
Yeah. If he just made like a scrawny neck on that big head, it would have looked a little more Jokerish, but it's cool. He's yoked. Now, then we went to the last dude, and we went to his booth, and he has kind of like a cartoony type style, and I was like, you would be good. I didn't even let him pick because I knew his style was going to be perfect for Scarface and ventriloquist.
One thing I thought was interesting was we were walking up and down a lot of rows of artists, and a lot of them were not standing out to us and drawing our attention. When we get to this guy's booth, we all just stopped and turned and looked. We're like, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's like a very distinct style. You'll see in a second.
He's the only guy that all three of it, me, you, and Cousin Dave, all bought something off this guy.
Yeah.
We dug his art. So I go to him and he agrees to the ventriloquist Scarface piece. I'm like, hell yeah. And Bear, you hit him up for an original sketch as well.
I did. You want to see it?
I do.
Okay. So, guys, I bought my first sketchbook. It's got my business card on the front. Yeah. This is my first sketch ever. And I was like, hey, you want to be the first one to draw my book? Of course, I'm going to get Poison Ivy right because that's who I love. He's got a very stylized sort of profile view style. And I'm not going to lie, this is good. I'm not in love with this. I'm pretty sure it took him 20 minutes, maybe. I do dig some of the elements. I dig the heart thing.
Yeah.
And the thing growing out of her hand there. I'm not sure what that is, but it matches her hair and I think it's cool. But it's not a bad first sketch on my book. I'm happy with it. It's in color. We're off to a good start here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a full color. I think you only charged like $50 for that or something, right? Or am I misremembering?
It was pretty cheap. I think it was $60.
$60 for a full color, very clean, like Hialeah says, and pretty consistent with what he had shown at his booth. Mm-hmm. So we drop off the stuff. He gets his sketch. I go for a walk. And I think it was on the last day. I'm like, oh, let me go back and pick up my sketch. I walk up to his booth. And when I walk up to it, I look at him and I notice his eyes are like all red. They're like bloodshot red. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? Then I realized he's crying. Pretty heavy duty. Like he was bawling, crying, kind of. And he was talking to some dude. He wasn't just crying to himself, but he was talking to somebody, obviously about something heavy. And he was crying. And I was like, hey. And then he saw me and he was like, oh man, this is great timing. And I was like, all right. I was like, let me just come back and I'll give you a little bit. And I bounced. Went around, linked up with Bear Island, and we went back to the booth. When we went back, he was dry-eyed, seemed like he got his composure, no more tears. And he's like, hey, he gives, I think, was that when he gave you your sketch? Or did you get it beforehand?
I got mine, I think, like first thing when I got there because I was so excited to go get it. Right.
He took care of some other piece of business. Like he gave Dave the stuff that he bought or something. Like he kind of delayed dealing with me. Like he hooked up Dave first. And then he was like, oh, hey, he goes, I got to apologize, man. I messed up. I messed up on your book. And I was like, oh, no. What do you mean? And then he told me what he means. What he meant was, this motherfucker says, I accidentally, because here's the page, ready? So Joker, right? He was supposed to do the next page. Oh, where is it?
Right in the middle of the book, right?
Where's his sketch? Did he just miss a page? On the back? No. This jabroni accidentally sketched it on the cover of the Batman blank book. The cover that I was saving for my big grand finale Batman piece. He put the most C-level guy on my list, Scarface and Ventriloquist, on the cover of the sketchbook. No. And if we just judge it off the notes,
so awkward from that moment. It was like,
I just tightened up and I was like, oh no. And he's like, yeah, I'm sorry. And that's when he's like, I just had I had a lot going on. And then he started with the, I've been messing up. I've been messing up a lot of things in my life lately. It's just been a tough time. And then like now the crying is starting to make sense. I'm like, this dude's a mess in his personal life. And he's like, I just been making all kind of mistakes. Da da da. I'm like, oh Jesus, I was just so uncomfortable. Like I don't want to rip the dude. Like if he was kind of a jerk about it, I would have like fired off. But he's crying and shit. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? Beat a man when he's down? So I was like, okay. He said immediately, he goes, I'm not gonna charge you. I'm really sorry. I won't charge you for the sketch. And my knee jerk reaction, Bear can attest. I offered to pay him. I said, let me at least give you half or something. I was like, because the crazy thing is, I totally dig the sketch.
It's really good.
Really good. It's
good.
I think you can see why I chose his style for the ventriloquist and Scarface, like the puppet. I felt like it needed a cartoony kind of edge.
Mm-hmm.
And he delivered. Like the profile, he almost made it like ventriloquist kind of has like a Hitchcock vibe to it. With the little Scarface, like I totally love it.
The gun is perfect.
Yeah.
It's like that Tommy gun type style from the, back in the day, Dick Tracy or whatever.
I like the decision to put the little round thing around it, kind of like maybe he could have drew it a little bigger and he just tried to add space with that circle, but it's still okay.
He's like, this is a cover. I got to add something extra.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
And then that's when he realized, oh, God, wait a second.
Right.
What if the whole time he's like, this guy really looks like the ventriloquist. He wants him on his cover. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry.
No, it's funny. I don't care. I still, in this whole ordeal, I still just revert back to it's comic books, it's art, it's fine. I'm not sweating it like that. But I will say, as you can see, I'm like more than halfway through the book. It's like I've been working on this for a while and I had something, you know how it is when you have something pictured in your mind and like you're looking forward to accomplishing that. And then you turn in the punch bowl. I'm like, man. So pretty disappointing. And so I just walk away.
Yeah, I sort of was like, Kenny, let's just take a deep breath and walk over here a little bit. Because I could tell Kenny was upset and the guy was upset. And I'm just like, you two right now just shouldn't be together. So let's just
yeah, we were all
maybe reconvene later and we'll all hug or something. But
and Dave stood behind and talked to him and said he started crying after we left.
By the way, Dave is your cousin, right?
Yeah, cousin Dave. Yeah,
very cool, very chill guy. Hung out with us almost all the time.
Pretty much, yeah. Much love for cousin Dave.
Yeah.
Life with two YouTubers. What's up, Jib Comics? What up?
What's up, Sharon?
I went by the guy that did the Bane sketch. I walked by his booth and I was like, because we kind of had a little rapport going, and I was like, dude, guess what? I was like, you know what this other guy did to the sketchbook that you worked on? And I busted out and showed him, and he was like, oh no. He was like, dude, that's terrible. And his
a little bit of sympathy in that moment.
Yeah, I just needed someone to be like, am I right? This guy's crazy.
Yeah.
And he his suggestion was, he had two suggestions. One, he said, you can still get the Batman sketch and just get it on here, and when you bag and board it and stuff, just present it like this. It's a full blank, it's like a virgin side. And he said you can still maybe accomplish the same thing. I mean, it's kind of weak. The trade dress is here. So I was like, okay, I don't know, maybe. I wasn't really feeling that. And then he said, just abandon the Batman hero part of it and just make this thing front to back villains, and you have a villain on the cover, and just don't put any heroes in it. I'm like, all right, I guess that makes the most sense of all. Is just make it all villains and say, hey, this is what I got for the cover piece, because it's still a cool piece. Now,
Unruly Simeon is touching on a little something here. He says he's speculating that the guy's old lady dumped him, and I guess that did he reveal that to Dave when Dave was talking to him?
He did. He said he's in the midst of divorce.
Yeah, he said it was a pretty bad one. So
it's
like just a reminder that like these artists, I guess sometimes we can probably forget that they have lives outside of these conventions, and they're people, and they screw up. They screw up. We all screw up.
Yeah.
I'm not excusing what he did, but he's maybe one of the nicest people I met at the con. Maybe not the most competent, but one of the nicest for sure. So
yeah, he was a genuine dude. He was sorry about it. I could tell he might have been more frustrated about the whole thing than I was.
He was devastated, dude. He was, yeah, for sure.
I could tell he was like kind of embarrassed. You know what I mean? Like he's there as a professional and stuff, and like he felt like it was a bad look for him. So, but like I said, I pretty much brushed it off, and it's fine. But it didn't quite end there, right? So I forgot about it. I was like, all right, the dude did right by me. He waived the cost of the sketch, and then I moved on with my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then later on, there was another turn of events, wasn't there, Bear?
There was. I got an Instagram message from this artist.
He slid in your DMs.
He slid right in there without any warning, which usually I'm okay with. But I get this message from him, and it just says, if you are still here, this was at 3:00. If you're still here, swing by my booth. So I'm like, okay. He must think I'm Kenny, which was the case. So I show up at his booth, and he's like surprised to see me. And I'm like, hey, I just got this message. Were you looking for my friend? He's like, yeah. Do you know if he's here? I'm like, he's around somewhere. I don't know where he is at the moment. This is one of the few times that me and Kenny weren't hanging out during Sunday and Saturday. So, and this guy trusted me enough. He's like, here, I want you to give this to your friend in case I don't see him, get a chance to see him. Can you give this to your friend? And he handed me a thing in a little bag. And I assured him that I would give it to Kenny, and I would take a picture of Kenny holding it. So he knew that I'd given it to him. So I tried to locate Kenny as soon as I could, which you must have been doing something that you must have been super busy or just didn't want to hear about it. But I said, there's a present for you. You got to come get it at the Comic Core booth. And
oh no. You know what? That's so funny.
What did I say?
That's the text that, you know what? I saw that text on the plane back.
Are you serious?
Is that when you said, I got something from your favorite artist?
It says...
Yeah.
I said, okay, where are you now? I have a gift for you from your absolute favorite artist.
Yeah. Dude, I saw that when I was going to the airport, and I was like, what does he have?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So you just surprised me when I saw you in person, and you were like, he hit me up.
I was like, here, take this. It's from your boy.
Yeah, and I can show y'all what that was, because it was like something that he had at his booth. I was like, what made his booth so popular were like these cool cards that he had, and he had them all on a banner, and he had different sizes, like a big print of these and a banner, and he did like basically almost every DC Universe character.
I love that Swamp Thing one, and the Atom with the telephones. I learned something about the Atom from that. That he used to, like, his gimmick was that he used to be so small that he could move through telephone wires, which nowadays not so useful.
Right. I don't know if he can travel through Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
He said this was the first one that he did.
That's a cool one.
So it's like the simplicity of the profile is cool, but also the little like tchotchkes that he adds in there are also super cool. And cousin Dave bought this like deck of cards to give his nephew, and he's selling these for $100. So not only did he waive the price of the sketch, he gave me something that was, retail value $100. I don't know if you were there when I busted his chops about Ragman. I was like, interesting.
Yeah.
You have a Jewish bar and a
He
bag
said
of
it's the mattresses with the money inside
money.
behind his head there.
Little taboo, if you ask me. Metamorpho. I want to get to the Batman one. Look at that Joker one. What is that? Is that a cupcake?
Oh, is that the thing that he fell into? Like a vat of acid or something?
Oh, I guess.
And then that's up there. That's got to be a flower squirting the Joker.
Yeah, that's the
toxin,
flower.
right? Yeah. What is that? What is that, Laura? Is that what Batman? It says Batman on it.
Yeah, so there's Batman. And then old lack of attention to detail, McGee put Batman on the Batgirl card, dude.
That's so weird because I got that exact print and mine says Batgirl on it.
Hi-yo. Let's see that. Let's see that big old.
Yeah, I love this Batgirl one so much. I wanted to get it to put on my wall with Batman, of course. And I just thought it was funny because they're like facing the opposite direction, and they could be like friends, or they could be like having a disagreement.
True.
Like, I'm not talking to you right now.
And he struck again because they look like they're different sizes.
Oh yeah, he told me. I don't know if you guys can see, but like the Batman one is bigger than the Batgirl one, and I'm like, what? Like,
dude is just.
He said, don't worry, it'll cut down correctly. Like the actual like art part of it is the same size, so I can just have it cut down correctly. And I'm like, so I gotta like go somewhere that has like a paper cutter or something, like a big slicer.
Yeah.
Which is like an elementary school or something. Where am I gonna do this? How am I gonna cut this thing exactly so I can put them right next to each other? Dude is going through a really hard time, okay? Divorce is tough. I don't know personally, but I hear it's really tough. Really hard time.
Brick Hunter says, I have the error print, a rare recall item. True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, but I was actually really happy because the card was super cool. Like I'll just show you a couple more, like the highlight.
Yeah, keep going. Those are so cool.
I really like the Giganta. Was one of my faves. Cyborg was Caliente. I love the Booster Gold one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what this thing is about. It's kind of a little game to be like, what do all these references? Because I know he time travels. That's the clocks. That's that little sidekick.
Skeets, right?
Skeet.
Skeet.
And then the measuring tool. I don't know what that's about.
It's probably just time, like without numbers.
Oh, linear. Time is a flat circle, I heard. So
it totally is.
Blue Devil.
That Reggie Ledoux guy knows what's up.
Reggie Ledoux. Boom. Black Vulcan. How do you have Black Vulcan but you didn't have a Poison Ivy in the deck?
I don't know. That's why I made him do Poison Ivy. I'm like, why haven't you done Poison Ivy, dude?
Yeah.
What gives? He said he shies away from villains.
Yeah, well.
There's Batgirl.
Yeah. Boom. Hawkwoman. Old. Jon Stewart. Green Lantern. I like how I put the three wise men on there.
Oh, yeah.
Hal Jordan.
Old school. So old school.
Alan Scott, brother.
I love the boxing glove arrow. Green arrow.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wonder Woman. Manhunter. So, pretty cool cards. The guy did what he could to make it right. I actually asked Bear before we got on here. I was like, "Do you have that guy's Instagram?" Because I was thinking I think I'm going to shoot him a message and just like, I don't know, say something nice and just be like, "Hey, man, just so you know, I'm not sweating it. You did a great job. Appreciate the cards, and just give him some well wishes. Like if the dude's in a funk, then I think he might appreciate that.
I'm sharing my screen of you getting the gift.
Oh, nice. And boom, we sent him the photo.
Yeah, he seemed like he was feeling better afterwards. He was very thankful to both of us for, I don't know, not wanting, not like being tougher on him. I guess, like we don't know what the dude's going through. So
Yeah, life. You know how life is. Yeah,
life, man, life.
life. Am I right?
Yeah. Y'all are gonna want to stay tuned for a little game that we're gonna play later on, involving Kenny and cosplayers from the con. But Kenny, if you don't mind, I'd kind of like to share some breaking news in my Mitch Garrett saga.
Yes. And I think you need to build up too, right?
Yeah. So y'all know that my last big con I went to, C2E2, I had an original art dream come true with Stephanie Hans. Did me this poison ivy that you see. God, I never get that right, do I? Right there at the end of my thumb. I got on her list before the con, pre-show commission. You request a character, they work on it before the show, they bring it, you buy it. You get a picture with them, you obsess over them for months. That's how it happens, right? So the Stephanie Hans thing went so well, I'm like, I'm going to do this again for Baltimore. I'm going to find an artist that I love who's going to be there. I'm going to get a pre-show commission. It's going to be awesome.
Look at Spidey fan. Is it a Mitch saga or a comic sketch art saga? We had a lot of sagas over the week.
It's both, really. It's both.
But we both had a saga,
It's true.
A turbulent emotion.
It's like we were written by Brian K. Vaughan.
Yeah.
So my request was for, let me share my screen. Am I sharing it? Yeah.
No, I have to put you in. Ready to put that in?
Yeah, go ahead. This was my request. Yeah. Word for word, my request for Mitch Garrett's. This is what I want. Barbara Gordon Batgirl in the classic black costume. Is that confusing to anyone?
It's actually more specific than I would have even expected.
What color hair would you think that this person that he draws would have?
Oh, I mean, Barbara Gordon has red hair.
Yeah.
She's a redhead.
You'd think that it would look like this, because I wanted to put it up on the wall next to this. It looked like this. That's what he did, and he posted to Instagram before the con. So I emailed the guy from Comic Sketch Art, and I'm like, yo, that's Stephanie Brown Batgirl, and 10 out of 10 of my friends that I've showed it to, they agree. That's not Barbara Gordon.
Hold on. Let me see that one more time.
Which one? Yeah, so like when I saw this, I was just devastated, and I think I was at the gym or something. I'm like a treadmill. I'm like, oh my god! And everyone around me is like, why is this guy sad all of a sudden? So I immediately emailed the guy, and I'm like, hey, before the convention, can he fix the hair or something? Is there something we can do? That is not Barbara Gordon. I can't put that up next to my Detective Comics 359. I can't. It wouldn't make sense. There's a flow to this comic room that I'm building, much like there was to Kenny's sketchbook. So the guy doesn't get back to me at all after I tell him this is not what I wanted. I don't hear from him at all. He disappears.
Right.
So we get to the con, and I'm like, I guess I'm just going to have to go up to Mitch Garrett's and be like, you screwed up, artist. Your art isn't what I wanted. So, and this is, it's not cheap. I'll just say that. I don't want to be like, I spent all this money. But like,
and I read a decent amount of Batman stuff, and I only knew Stephanie Brown as Spoiler. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know Stephanie Brown was Batgirl, to be quite frank. And so for him to say this guy wants a Batman sketch, and for him to assume Stephanie Brown, that's a pretty obscure Batgirl.
Well, he might have done whichever one he thought would look coolest. Like whichever one he thought he could use the most color with. And honestly, the hair does pop on here. I think the hair looks great. It's just not Barbara Gordon. Like, I think it's beautiful. Although when I showed it to you, you said it looked like Rosie Perez, which I thought was kind of funny. So anyway, I'm trying to get this thing fixed before the con because I don't want this awkward interaction with Mitch Gerrits because I love Mitch Gerrits. And I don't want to be like, hey, man, fix this for me. So I'm dreading this for like the first day of the con. I don't even go up there because I'm just like I'm procrastinating it because I don't want to go have this awkward interaction. I just want to enjoy myself on the first day. On Saturday, I go up to his booth when he's not there on purpose and talk to the girl at his booth from Comic Sketch Art. I said, hey, do you work with Mitch? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, so here's my situation. You've got a commission for me, probably there behind the booth. My request was for something different. And I didn't think that – I thought my only option would be, can Mitch take it to his hotel and fix the hair or something? So she's like, yeah, I'll talk to Mitch. He'll probably fix it tonight, come back tomorrow at noon and get it. So I did, and it hadn't been touched. And he's got a line of people, at least 45 people in line for him, to meet him and Tom King sitting next to each other. And I'm like, okay, so I'm only here for a few more hours. Can we, if he's going to fix it, can he do it like, step aside for a minute and fix it? I don't know how long it's going to take. She's like, he'll do it now. And she grabbed me. She's like, Mitch, you will do this now. You will make this hair red.
Yeah.
So I watch as he pulls out a red Sharpie and just goes over the hair. And that's the end result. And it just doesn't look right. It looks like he painted the hair initially, and then he went over it with a red Sharpie.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know, man. I keep looking at it, like waiting for it to look right, and it doesn't. So
it looks better.
It definitely looks better, but it's just not right.
It's not right.
The texture of it and stuff. Like he had, I don't know if I can. Here, let me go back one. See these white things in her hair? They're like accents, like the little white
right
and things like that. Like that add texture to the hair. Also, there's some slightly darker blonde in the background that just makes it just gives it more character. And then you have this. Right. So I'm just like initially when I got it, I'm like, this is better. Yay.
Like I'll say that the left side of her head, the side without the fist, looks pretty good, but it's the side to the right of her face where her fist is that it just kind of looks like a red blob.
It looks like a rush job.
Yeah.
So, I brought it home with me, and I'm like, all right, I'll display it somewhere. But I'm just not happy. And out of the blue today, breaking news, I get an email from Doug from Comic Sketch Art, the guy I was talking to last week.
Dougie.
The guy I've been interacting with the whole time. And he's like, I've been sick for the past 5 days. I haven't been checking any emails. I'm so sorry that I missed this before the con. We're going to make this right.
Whoa. Take
a picture of this, send it back to me. I'll sell it if I can, but we're going to get you on the list for the next big event. You're on Mitch's pre-show commission list for the next big event that he does.
So, and they're going to ship it to you.
I've already sent this back. That's why I'm not holding it up right now. This is already in the mail heading back to Tennessee to Comic Sketch Art. So all's well that ends well, I guess, if it's a good sketch that he does for me eventually. But so in my future is a makeup sketch from Mitch, which makes me happy. So
do you know when his next con is or no?
I don't, but you can bet I'm going to be looking.
Right.
I'm going to be emailing Doug every week. Be like, hey, what do we got coming up, Doug?
So he's going to do the sketch there, and then they're going to mail it to you.
Yep. Yeah. Or, I mean, if it's a show that I'm at, like I'm going to C2E2 So if he's at C2E2, I can just pick it up there. That's not a problem.
Right.
But I did get a couple other prints from Mitch that I thought were pretty cool.
He can't be at Rhode Island Comic Con. That's not possible, is it?
I don't know.
I think I'm going to go there in 2 weeks. It's a decent sized con. I don't know.
I got this Mr. Miracle. I thought was cool.
Yeah, the prints are cool.
Yeah, and then this one's probably my favorite. This is Swamp Thing from that. I think it was just one Batman issue or maybe two in Tom King's run in the between maybe 25 and 50, somewhere in there, where it was a Swamp Thing story, and you got Bruce, sitting in his den talking to Swamp Thing, and Alfred is literally he's sweeping up Swamp Thing.
Who that? Damn, these stories make me sad.
No, things are gonna pick up, and we're gonna make you guys laugh here in a few minutes.
But you know what?
Check out the dog real quick. The dog is looking at Swamp Thing like he's over by the fireplace. The dog is like, should I be like fighting this thing or defending my master?
Right.
I just think that's beautiful.
So
this is why I love Mitch Gerrits. But when he had a line full of people, he wasn't gonna fix my thing the way it should have been fixed. So that's just life. That's what happens sometimes. You learn some lessons at these cons that not everything goes your way right away. So
yeah, could have had him sign Biggie Shack on it, like NYC suggests.
We have to have a campaign. This Biggie Shack thing is going to take off. The Neil Adams thing that you were talking about last night. I am in. I will pay $60 just to see the look on his face. Like, did you just say Biggie Shack? What? This is the second time.
Like, man, this guy is a big fan.
The only reason it works is because Neil Adams goes to all the cons. We can do this. Right. We can do this if everyone in the community is ready. No, half the people here probably don't even know what we're talking about. But
yeah, I think a good part of them were in the chat last night. So yeah, they know about the Neil Adams Biggie Shack saga.
You do have a loyal following.
In Mastodon, he does pose the question that came to my mind right away.
Hey, Donnie, what's up, man? I didn't even see you sneak in there.
Donnie has a sweet profile pic.
I really enjoyed Donnie's Baltimore recap that he did yesterday. That was fun. It brought back memories from 2 days ago.
Yeah, Donnie's the man. But that is true. I mean, you would think that Mitch would have more art tools and stuff at his disposal at his home studio than he would at a con. So
true, but
do it.
Mitch also probably has a major whatever book he's working on with Tom King. He's probably facing some serious deadlines, and I think these artists only make time for that stuff right before cons. I think that's the only time they ever do it, honestly.
And you know what? I bet you that art dealer Doug, doesn't have the heart to say, or the balls to say, hey, that guy didn't like your Barbara Gordon sketch. He's probably just saying, hey, this is the first one in line at your next thing. I bet you Mitch doesn't know shit about.
Can you believe another person is requesting Batgirl? This is amazing.
Yeah, he's like Barbara Gordon Batgirl, and I bet you Mitch is none the wiser.
Because let's be honest, this was a miscommunication between somebody and Mitch. If Mitch had gotten a request for Barbara Gordon Batgirl, he would have done it.
Yeah,
I don't think Mitch doesn't know who Barbara Gordon is.
Yeah, nor do I believe Doug's "I was sick for 4 days" story. I think Doug needs to get his shit together and facilitate these art pieces correctly because they're not cheap, and you're dealing with a passionate fan base.
It's true.
You're not going to put up with errors and shenanigans. So they're on notice, is all I'm saying.
That's true. But on the positive side, when I woke up this morning, I thought I was just going to have to live with it. And then I get this email and he's like, you're going to get another one. And I'm like, okay, great. Awesome. So plus I also have another, I have the 2 covers thing coming from Ryan G. Brown of the Jim Hopper from Stranger Things and Jim Gordon. I gave him 2 blank Detective Comics 1000 covers. And I said, make this look like a connecting variant of Commissioner Gordon and Chief Hopper from Stranger Things teaming up for whatever reason, and just have fun with it. And I was shopping this idea around the whole con. He's the first one who was like, "Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do that." All the other artists was like, well, "I don't know about that. He's on TV. I can't draw people from TV."
He was excited. Yeah, he even burned me when I was like, "Yeah, I haven't seen Stranger Things." He was like, "What the fuck?"
Oh yeah, he was giving you hell for that. He was like, "Why are you hanging out with this guy who hasn't even seen Stranger Things?"
Yeah,
and I'm like, "I don't really know. I don't really know, Ryan G. Brown. Do you want to hang out instead of, you know?"
And I will. You know, it's going to come out good because it's the same RGB that did my Mr. Freeze at Boston Comic Con, and he killed it.
And that was the selling point. I want a semi-cartoonish look to it, so that'll be cool. It's gonna be full color, but he's like, I'll be honest, I want to put time into this, so I'm going to take it home with me and do it. I'm not going to do it here.
Yeah.
And it was already Sunday, that wasn't it? Or was it Saturday? It was Saturday.
It was Saturday, and I liked his suggestion of, and hey, by the way, what's up, Big John? John's Comics with Kids. Also,
what's up, John?
Cool dude we hung out with in Baltimore too. King John was presiding.
John, by the way, his energy level that he displays in his YouTube channel, he's like that in person.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Just a smile, and I don't know that has the ability to frown.
Yeah, he's a happy dude.
And he's a hugger. He's a hugger, which is nice.
He's a hugger. He's taller than I expected.
Massive dude. John is huge, you guys.
Yeah. I was a little intimidated by Big John. I thought he might, I don't want to get on his bad side, but he's so nice that it, overcompensated.
Well, you were intimidated by quite a few people at this con, especially the ones that were in costume. Because I believe they began to sort of attack you in the best possible way. I don't know if you want to explain what I'm looking at here.
There's a lot of cosplayers there, and I wanted to take pictures with them. I get a kick out of cosplayers, and we kind of started this. Well, I started this theme of me getting attacked by the cosplayers and taking pictures of different cosplayers beating me up in different ways. So that's the setup.
Because you want to make the cosplayers happy. They're there for attention. And a lot of them, constructed fake weapons. Give them a chance to use them, right?
They were pretty into it. There were a couple that were like, I was surprised that they're low enthusiasm. But for the most part, they seemed pretty down. Yeah.
So here's the thing, you guys. It's important if you're going to have pictures taken of you, bearing the brunt of whatever power or weapon a cosplayer has, you got to sell it, right? You really got to sell it. So the question is, if you want to take the screen here, we're going to play a little game called Did Kenny Sell It? So I've been creeping Kenny's Instagram, downloading photos, and I made a little slideshow. Go ahead and make fun of me. I made a slideshow.
Thank you so much for this. This is gonna be fun.
And Kenny has not seen this. He doesn't know the order that they're in. Of course, I put them in the order to most embarrass him. But here we go. You ready?
Right, because I wanted to, they were into it with their striking, so I thought I was trying to be as into it as possible of like, ouch.
Oh, you were into it, all right.
All right, let's see. I think for the most part,
was it the right way?
Do you know how many total, before you show them, how many total pictures you have in this?
I think there's 12.
I would say that I solidly sold at least 9.
Kenny's a wrestling fan, you guys. He knows about the sell. Macho knew how to sell in the ring. Does Comic Head know how to sell at a con when he's getting attacked by cosplayers? Let's go. You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
And I would like chat input on if Kenny sold it or not.
Okay, so first we have the Flash. Now, you posted this to Instagram. There's actually, I don't know if you can see over on the right-hand side, there's another arm coming in. That was Fat Daredevil, right?
I cropped him out. He was so unenthused. I just cropped him out. I was like, I don't have time for this. Flash did his thing.
All right, and you know what? I think you sold it. I'm buying the pain on your face.
Yep.
And I think you did a good job here. You're twisting your body
right
to make it look like you're trying to evade this attack, and you're not enjoying it.
Like the speed of the punch twisted me around.
Exactly. So good job. But let's continue. This is one of my favorites. This is one of my favorites. I love this. Look at this. Magneto. And Kenny's like, hey, I'll get up on the stairs here, and it'll look like you're lifting me up. And it worked. This is amazing. I'm buying this.
Right? And you know what made this one even better is like this big metal structure in the background. Like it looks like a place where Magneto would be hanging.
Absolutely. The teamwork between the two of you on this is fantastic. I'm seeing maybe the hint of a smile, like a confused smile maybe on your face there, and it's bothering me a little bit, but the overall execution of this is just off the charts, and I love it. Shall we continue?
I will. Last thing I'll say on that is, dude, you don't even the way that Magneto's eyes lit up when I said, dude, why don't I stand up on that thing and you can like levitate me, bro? His eyes lit up.
He's like, thank you for being here, sir.
He was like, he gave me his IG and he was like, bro, send that to me, and I did later that night, and he was gassed. So that was
awesome.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yeah. So that one's. I think people said that. I got some not sold in here.
Who said that?
Brick Hunter says I'm smiling a bit.
Oh, Brick Hunter's always tough though.
Yeah, it's calls like he sees it. That's
but
fine.
no one's tougher than me. I was giving Kenny crap. You'll see why. All right, let's continue. Another good one. We got Fat Cable here.
Yes,
I think that's Cable, right?
That sure is 90s Cable.
Okay, we've got some sort of future gun to Kenny's head. A look of concern on the face, not even the hint of a smile.
Right.
He looks to be raising his arms as if to say, "I give up." That's important to do. I got no problems with this one. Does anyone else? Yeah, who's taking these pictures, by the way? Just random people?
Let's see. This one, that Magneto dude actually took this picture.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Magneto took this one.
But because he was your best friend.
Yeah, but for the most part, Cousin Dave did.
Okay, that's right. Cousin Dave was was a fine, calming presence and useful for picture taking as well. All right, let's move on. Good job, Kenny. You sold it.
Thanks.
All right.
Look at this one. Look at that sell job, dude. Sign me up to WWF right now.
All right. Now, I'm not going to 100% agree with you there.
Come on.
I think your body movement is good in this one. You kind of look like you got like some Listerine in your mouth or something, and you're kind of like washing it around.
Bro, I got a knuckle sandwich in my mouth. Look at that.
Kinda. I don't know. I want a little bit more out of you here, but at least you're not smiling.
Yeah, I don't think the audience is going to agree. I think they're all going to think that I'm on point with this one. John mentions he was there for this photo. I remember that. John was standing nearby, and he saw the magic happen. The dude looked great too in that Batman suit. Speaking of Dark Knight,
yeah, he was all over the place. I love it. I thought that was a great costume. That was one that you just stopped and like complimented them because you just have to.
Yeah.
We're moving on. We've got. You're gonna have to explain to me who this is because I don't quite know, but it looks like some sort of wrestling character.
Yes, that's Jushin Liger. I think I got that right. Jushin Liger. I feel like he has a third word. Jushin something Liger. Jushin Tiger Liger. Maybe Biggie Shaq knows. Or if 90MF was in here, he knows it's Japan Wrestling. But I think that's Jushin Liger. Hit me with the open. I like that he went with the open pawn slap. And
yeah, and honestly, I think this is your best job of the entire con.
Yeah.
You've even got this kid in the background sort of looking like, oh my gosh, that guy's really being like, look at the shock on the kid's face behind you.
Right.
He's got his mouth partially open as if he's gasping. As if to say, I hope this guy in the Levi's shirt is going to be okay after what's happening to him at the hands of this wrestler character.
Yeah, I
So
think we both did a great job. I think, this guy with the palm slap, which was a very innovative move. No one had done that. And look at it. I like his left hand. Look at his left hand with like a claw hand open.
yeah, and I do like that you have your hand open as if your arm has gone limp,
Right.
like your lower hand there. So
I'm about to drop.
great work here.
Dang. So we're batting a pretty good average so far.
This is where things start to go downhill for me. For me, I've got an issue here.
I'm getting choked.
Yeah, you're getting choked from 5 inches away, maybe.
It was the
At that point, why doesn't he just reach out and like choke you for real? But that's a smile on your face, dude. I don't know how you can deny that.
My eyes are closed. My nostrils are flared. And
are you trying to tell me that the corners of your mouth are not pointing upward?
no, that's just because of the angle is weird.
You're going to claim a weird angle on this one?
Because look, if I'm grimacing, look at my cheeks. Ouch. I'm still.
I don't know, dude. I want to believe what you're saying to me right now. This looks like a person who enjoys being choked, and I don't want to get into like the fetishes involved with that, but you look like you're like, come on, choke me.
Yeah, he probably should have just grabbed me by the throat, right?
Well, or done it from further away, I think, because
Would it have read that he was choking me if it was from that far away?
JP's budget collecting says no way on this one.
Yeah, no way.
No way. He's keeping score. JP's keeping score. Thank you, JP. All right, so I think we're probably about halfway through, but here we go. This one just disgusts me. Okay, this one looks like Kenny's getting down to some yacht rock or something while he's being punched by Batman in the gut. He's like grooving. It's like punched by Batman. Like the hand placement, like he's like dancing or something. That can't be Batman. Is it like an old withered Batman or something that isn't punching very hard? Are you just ticklish in that particular spot of your body? This is very disappointing. I almost didn't speak to you anymore after I saw this picture.
Here's one thing I'll say about this one is that this was the very first one I took in this series. This was the first guy that I came up with. I was like, hey, can you punch me in the stomach? So I didn't even know I was going to keep doing it. It was an impromptu thing. So I'll give you this one that it was the first one of the idea.
So you're claiming inexperience on this one.
Yeah, it was new territory. You know what I'm saying? It was my maiden voyage. I still think I feel like that's not a look of pleasure on my face. I'm not happy in that picture. I'll say that.
I don't think that excuse is going to fly with Biggie Shaq, but we'll see.
I say for the record, but
you think you sold this one?
Yeah. Look at my face. If all you saw was that face, would you say, is that guy having a good time or a bad time?
I would say that guy's listening to some Doobie Brothers right now and really enjoying it. That's what I'm seeing.
Next.
All right. Next. This guy, honestly, like you've pointed out that most of the cosplayers were very excited to do this with you. This is the guy who I went over and asked if he would do this to you because I was so impressed by his sword.
Right.
The sword is just massive. And he gave me this look like, oh, fine. Okay. Like he didn't even seem like he wanted to be there.
Yeah, it's like, dude, look at all this work you put into the sword and your hair. Like, you can say what you will about my selling. I'm selling more than that fucking guy.
Yeah. And so Kenny had to pick up the slack in terms of expressing joy at having his shoulder sliced off. That's a smile, I think. Anybody want to weigh in?
Tommy says, look like you threw your back out.
So many painkillers, it didn't matter. Let me see if I feel this. All right, next one, because this guy pisses me off. So let's go to the next one.
Yeah, he's annoying. Yeah.
Here we go. Here things are okay. Now, I think I complained to you enough times at this point that you were smiling too much, and also I was standing 5 feet away from you, and I took this picture, I believe.
You did. That's why the lady in the back was laughing.
Yeah.
see because at this point it was a running gig, and I'm like, all right, stop. All right, I'm not gonna laugh because this was so funny.
This is like take 3 of this picture. And I'm like, stop smiling. You've got a gun to your head, and this is the terrifying Red Hood. Stop it, Kenny. And like, I'm loudly yelling at him in the middle of the artist alley to stop it. And he did. And this came out pretty good, I think. I think I'm buying your fear here. All right.
Shut up.
TJ saying what we're all thinking.
Yeah. That is what I look like.
All right, we're nearing the end, folks. There's a really terrible one coming up. I gotta warn you. Oh boy, this one.
Oh yeah, look at this.
This may be the most sexual one of the bunch, if you ask me. Luigi's having himself a great time at Kenny's expense here.
Of this picture for sure.
This was probably one of your early ones where you were still inexperienced.
You know, it was day 2 of.
Okay, so you can't use that excuse.
Hence the black shirt outfit. So this is day 2 of me doing this shit. These were another example of guys that absolutely lit up when I was like, hey, do a picture. I was like, do one where like you guys are just like hitting me. And this Luigi guy was like, yeah, how about I grab your arms and he wails on your stomach? And I was like, damn, he was quick with that. I was like, sure.
I got to give credit to Mario though. That looks like a legit punch.
Review, what up?
But and I'm gonna forgive you on this one because you probably realize what a great time Luigi was having behind you, and you're just a guy who wants to have a great time with others. You don't want to be like all serious when other people are having a great time. I get that. I want to know if Luigi had to go, change some clothing after this. That's all. I think you're his type.
I mean, one thing I'll say is that this one, I think you got me on this one. Like, that's a straight up smile.
Okay.
I can't even. I'm smiling. I just have my eyes closed.
All right, fair enough. So
that's a bad one.
Fun times in Baltimore.
Oh, are you muted, Bear? Unless it's me, but I don't think so. Chat, let me know if I'm crazy and if you guys are hearing him. I feel like I just lost you. Chat, let me know if I'm crazy and if you guys are hearing him. Chat, let me know if I'm crazy. I don't think so. Come in, Bear. There's no bear sounds. He's at mission control. His mouth's moving.
Check.
Oh, snap. He's back. Oh, he's gone again.
Oh, no.
Oh, you're back.
I'm unmuting. Am I back? I'm not going to touch the controls because that's what's killing it. Okay. Does everybody see this crime that's being committed by Kenny? The happiest guy in the world to have a hammer coming down on him from Harley Quinn.
I mean, that's a grimace. That's a grimace.
Now we got to get into what is a grimace because I've never seen you look happier. Like when you were showing me comics that you just bought, like, I got this sweet Uncanny X-Men stuff for my collection. Like that was the exact expression that was on your face. So I'm having a hard time buying that this is a grimace.
My eyes are squinted from pain. The Harley chick was fairly cute.
Fairly.
Something, but
she's having a good time.
Yeah.
She put in all the work for that hammer, which is awesome, by the way. That hammer was so cool.
Yeah, great hammer.
And she's selling the heck out of it.
Look, I'm crouched down from the centrifugal force.
Centrifugal force, okay. Well, your knees are bent.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. You got the hood string sort of dangling in front of you, so that's a definite crouch.
Body language is on point.
You almost look like you're winking at the camera, though.
I know. I didn't want to say it about myself, but I'm like, it looks like I'm winking.
JP's budget collecting says not sold. And
Oh wow,
5 to 6. I don't know
predicted
which.
9. He said
So like one more not sold than sold. Oh, Brick Hunter revealing his
boom.
love for Harley Quinn here.
Thank you. Wow, so JP thinks I'm more not sold than sold.
Oh no, there's one more.
Look at that.
There's one more. And I don't know how you defend this.
I mean, like I said, if you see that face,
you're having a nice dream, about about a hot cosplayer that is not this chunky Wolverine.
That's not the best one, but I still would say Grimace with maybe a little, smile, perhaps.
Right, well, that's clearly your go-to. Yeah. I'm grimacing, you guys.
It was tough, man, because it was so ridiculous to ask them this and to go into like roll with it. So it was hard not to laugh.
You kind of look like you're like, give me that adamantium. Yeah.
I feel like this one could have been. One thing I had to start saying to these people was, like, that the luchador guy who's palming me in the face. You know why that contact looks good? I grabbed his.
Sorry.
I grabbed his wrist.
A little tease there.
Oh. I grabbed his wrist and I smashed it on my face. I was like, dude, just press. I was like, mush me, dude. Because they were like always keeping their distance. I'm like, these are not going to read as good photos like this one. He should have, I don't know. It just looks like he's in front of me doing this, but I wanted him to be like hitting me or stabbing me.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of explaining on these photos. There were 2 more attacks on Kenny.
Boom. Oh, Bear went mute again. How are you doing that? I see the little mute thing on your mic now.
Is it back?
You're back.
Why does it keep doing that? That's so weird. Anyway, this is a whale sneaking up on Kenny, and he seems to like it.
I was cool with this. Yeah.
Oh, I know what it's doing. Every time I hit spacebar, it thinks I'm trying to mute my mic because I have my cursor on the wrong thing. Sorry, guys. I'm still new. Give me a break. And then he also was attacked. He was attacked by a bear.
Boom.
As well.
Look at that duo.
So,
we look like we could be a buddy cop movie.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
Yes, straight to Blu-ray or something.
Yeah, definitely straight to Blu-ray.
I don't know who's buying that one, but I believe that is it.
And let me just point out, Biggie Shaq, only one bad one, 9 out of 10. Thank you. Which was the bad one? By the way,
I feel like Biggie might be slightly biased.
I'm curious which one you think was bad, Biggie, because that one's got to be really bad.
Kavi says Cheech and Chong White Guy Edition.
Yeah. Same.
There was some Cheech and Chong going on in Baltimore, but I don't think either one of us were partaking.
No. We did have a night on the town. Me, you, Discovery Bay, cousin Dave, hung out at the bar. That
was one of the highlights for me, actually. Kenny had come on over to the Comic Core house to say hi to everyone. He's a very social dude, as you see with all these cosplayers. And there was a bit of a family disagreement going on in the house that we that we didn't really feel appropriate to be a part of. So we're like, hey, let's go into the night of Baltimore and just walk and risk it. And we ended up at a hotel and drinking and talking about life and YouTube and just hanging out. And that's, like I said, that's one of my favorite, most of my favorite moments from this con happened breaking off with 2 or 3 people at a time, maybe 3 or 4, because you really get a chance to actually speak freely and get to know each other. So turns out Kenny's a good guy, you guys. really is.
As is Bear. And so is JB. JB's so fucking awesome.
JB's energy level is
Dude.
exactly what you see in those videos.
Yes.
Like, I thought maybe he'd be like a little more toned down in person.
Nope.
There were a couple times I was like, JB, you're being really loud right now. And I love the guy to death. I spent the entire day with him at the airport, and we went to get lunch, and at this, like, we only had a couple hours left, but we were both hungry, so we get to at some taco bar or something, and he looks at his phone and he's like, "Big Lion Cat's going live," and he's talking about Baltimore. So JB pulls out his laptop, puts it on the table where we're eating, and tries to go live to be part of, join BLC's thing.
And one thing that was fun with JB, that seeing him in action, is like, JB gets shit done. Like, he is
oh yeah,
I guess I would say he's like an alpha. Like, he's like, I'm getting shit done. He takes the bull by the horns. Like, if there's any confusion of what's going on, he's like, all right, here's what's happening. This is what's going down right now. Just like when we went to that bar, he was like, all right, yo, let's roll. We're going to the bar right now. Let's go. We started walking. He's like, I know where we're going. We're going here. Like, and that's just how he rolls. He just is the man with the plan, and I respected that. I respected his energy.
And when he gets rolling, like when he's talking, you just sit back and watch, and you just listen. And he's very positive all the time and encouraging. Same with John. Very just so positive that I was like, can I make this guy be negative at any point somehow? Can I like trick this guy into like saying something negative? But he was just having such a great time. He was all about everything that was happening. And honestly, that's almost the entire crew.
Pretty much, yeah. Oh, he went mute again. Ha ha, you're mute again. How do you do that again? Thanks, Kavi. Appreciate your kind words, man. I'd definitely like to get up with you guys at a con again. Bear? You're silent again. How about we get rid of the screen share? Is that something? No? But at least now I see the mute line on your mic.
No, I think I'm back.
You're back, dog.
I apologize, guys. That's Bush League. It's rookie stuff there. But it was when we all went for a walk and ended up at that hotel bar.
Yeah.
It was pretty late at night, and JB's energy level was like he just woken up in the morning. Like, had 2 cups of coffee.
Yeah. And I was so happy. Like, JB was the last person from the community that I saw, like, right when I was about to leave, like 4 o'clock, like between 4 or 5 o'clock on Sunday. It's all wrapping up, right? JB's the last guy I bump into. He shows me his little sketchbook. I'm like, all right, bro, it was good seeing you. I'm walking away, and then I go, yo, JB, as he's walking away, right? There's a little distance between us. I go, yo, JB. He goes, yo. I go, we had a good time.
Yes. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And he goes, don't forget. I was like, I won't forget.
Don't forget.
Had a good time. I was like, that was so perfect. I was laughing.
Yeah, JB was the last guy I saw too at the airport.
Don't watch his show. Don't forget, we had a good time.
That's right.
So,
and we did. Each day was better. Yeah. Each day was better than the one before it. I think it was because everyone started getting more comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
Because we've actually, like, a lot of us have never met in person, and you're always a little bit wary. You're like, what's this person going to be like? What is the group dynamic going to be like? Am I going to be sort of on the outside looking into the group? But rarely ever felt like that. And I got to interview Jeff Lemire, which was amazing.
Yeah.
I was so nervous. And then he walked into the booth, and me and Miss Explained got a good 10 minutes in with him. And it was like we were old friends. It was so much fun. And shout out to the entire Comic Corps, but especially Chad, for organizing all this stuff and sort of bringing us all together, because I'm sure there were people who decided to come to Baltimore because of who had already because of the plans that were already in place. Like the chance to meet people at one of these cons. If you have a chance to meet people from the community at a con, do it. Don't hesitate. Don't be worried about it. People are so cool.
Yeah, that's true. This community is pretty solid front to back, so I agree. Very welcoming, and that's true. Now that you mention it, it was like I saw this little grassroots thing building of like everyone's going to the con, so I'm like, hell yeah, I'm down. Let's do it.
John's mentioning the videos that I had a bunch of you do, little intros to my channel to put at the beginning of future videos.
Oh yeah.
Kenny was the first one. We were at the CGC booth and we were kind of bored because we were in line at the CGC booth, and I was like, hey, can you just record like a little intro for my channel, like you're watching Bear Island Comics or something like that? And he's like, yeah, dude, go, roll. And I'm like, oh, you're ready? We don't even discuss this anymore. Like, and it came out great. I don't want to spoil it, but it came out so great.
But I don't know.
Yeah, well, you're too humble. But I've watched it and it's great.
It's great.
So right. I had him do one. Almost everyone did one, I think. John did one, definitely. JB, Chad, Alex, of course, is hilarious because he's so low key. But I asked everyone to like say something negative about me in it to make it funny. There's an idea I had after you did yours. So I think yours is just nice, but but it's still funny because you're like, I don't know. I don't want to spoil it, but it's gonna be the first one. I'm gonna put out a video later this week showing some stuff I got in Baltimore, and yours is gonna be the first one to debut in the front.
So. That was a good idea to have everyone do an intro for your channel. That's a good idea.
Well, the idea was to, when I met artists and writers, to have them do it, and of course I choked every single time. I would be just totally forget to ask them to do it. So, but this is cool anyway. This will be. It makes me want to make more videos because I gotta make one for every intro that I have. So, anyway. How many you got hanging out? What's going on in the chat?
15 people in the chat. We I don't know how long we've been going, but I feel like we did a good stretch. Yeah, an hour and 20 minutes. I feel like we went through the emotional journey of our Baltimore mission. I feel like we kind of, maybe almost had our own version of the NYC Jeffrey Comic-Con bromance, if I may be so bold. We made it happen. Yeah.
And I know Kavi's already booked his C2E2 stuff, so we'll definitely be hanging out there. I'm going to drive out there because it's about a 4-hour drive for me, and I've driven out there the past 2 years. I feel like that's my home con now. C2E2, you guys, is incredible. Like this, Baltimore was incredible because of the people I got to meet. C2E2 is incredible as a convention, no matter what. Like it's a spectacle that you kind of have to see to believe. So I know Kavi's coming out there. We're trying to get JP. I think he's close to agreeing. And so anyone who wants to come out, we're going to be at C2E2.
When does that go down? C2E2? Summer?
No, it's at the end of February, I think. They keep pushing it up. They keep pushing it up every year. It was the first one I went to was in like April. Last year it was March, and now it's like the very end of February.
Oh, February. Yo, son. Yeah. Where is that? Chicago?
Yeah.
C2E2?
I probably should have said that. C2E2 is in Chicago.
Wow.
TJ, I do love the Motor City. I do go to that con too, but that's less of a meetup con because it's hard to convince people to come hang out in Detroit.
Yeah, because like the spring and summer months, like any cons that happen there are pretty off limits for me. But stuff in the winter, just because of the nature of my work schedule, winter stuff, I'm more flexible. So
yeah, and Kavi reminds everyone that his contest has 1 week left to enter, just so we get that out there.
I'm feeling pretty good. Actually, I feel like I was a little under. But,
on your guess?
Yeah, I feel like maybe I should have rounded up on my thing, but
I'm a little under on starting to record my video.
Yeah.
To round up all the places that I have changed. I've changed in like 5 different places, so that's going to be a fun little walk around That's what I'm gonna do. So I wish I had a gimbal like you had, so
Yeah.
I could just add some production value to that upcoming video that I promised Kavi I would do, and I will. So
Speaking of upcoming videos, it's probably going to upload on this very channel. Let's see, what time is it? 10:30. Maybe tonight. Maybe I'll have it exported and uploaded before I go to bed tonight. If not, sometime tomorrow. But it's going to be, I think I'm going to call it the Baltimore Comic-Con mixtape, brother. And
sweet.
it's just like, there's really not much direction to it. It's just like random footage that I took walking around and some pictures, some cosplay pictures, but not ones that the combat ones, other cosplay pictures I took. So stay tuned for that. It's us walking through. Remember that time when we walked through the con and I had the gimbal and we went by Bob McKeel, Greg Land, we walked by.
Yeah.
The original art books. So there's some cool stuff coming. So keep an eye out for, if you want some more 84 Baltimore Con coverage, the mixtape's dropping soon.
As the great legend would say, because you need more 84.
Dude, speaking of Great Legend, man, every time I saw him, and Great Legend is in my mixtape video. We come across Great Legend, and he does exactly what he did every time I just like walked down a hall and saw him. He would just cut into a little promo mode. Macho Head coming at you live. Like, I was like, what up? He just got me hype every time I saw him.
You were live the whole weekend.
Pretty much.
You were coming at him live every time you came at him.
Yeah, man.
Legend is so cool. He's so laid back and just always positive. He does not.
Yeah,
he'll tolerate you. He'll tolerate you if you're in a bad mood, but like you can tell he wants to pick up your spirits the second he sees you.
That's a good observation. He's positive.
Like day one, I was getting to the point where Drew and I were both starting to like get to the real complaining part of being hungry.
Yeah.
Like we just needed food. And Legend's like, maybe we can find something nearby. Like everything's cool, guys. We're gonna get food eventually. It's gonna be okay. And we're like, you know what? It is gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. We've got fat reserves. We're gonna be fine.
You'll survive.
Yeah.
Boom.
All right. I'm running out of gas, brother.
Me too. We did it. We covered it. You got the story of the sketchbook. You got the Mitch saga. And, apparently you saw me properly sell half of my combat cosplay pictures, which, hey, considering I haven't taken any acting classes, I say it's a win.
Damn straight.
Damn straight.
Grimace. Hashtag grimace.
Hashtag
it was a grimace. Dude, that Magneto one though, it just makes up for all of it. I love it.
It really is.
So good.
Cool.
So, you got the con crud there? You're coughing.
It's a little. I was just recovering from that laugh.
Okay.
That was a good one.
It was a hearty laugh.
Any closing words for anyone, Bear Island? When we can expect some like a video on your channel and stuff?
Tough to say. This is a rather busy week for me. My mom is moving into a new place that she's been having built, a condo that she's been having built. It's very exciting. It's not like a health issue or anything like that. It's a place that she's been dreaming of for years. So we are helping move her in there, and that's going to take up some of my time, which is fine. But I mean, hopefully on the weekend I'll get a chance to work on my. I'm going to have a haul video with 2 comic books in it. That's really all I got at Baltimore. So, but they're very meaningful to me, and there's some cool stories behind them. So
that's cool.
Yep, and that's coming up. That's all I got. and Kavi's contest at your video. Kavi's contest.
Bear Island's videos are worth the wait. I don't get salty.
Oh, thanks, man.
with the delays between Bear Island's videos because they're always high quality and like thoughtful and cool editing. Like they're not like my impromptu nonsense. He like makes these nice videos. So you'd be lucky if you get one a week from Big Bear.
One every 2 weeks, honestly.
Every bi-weekly.
Yeah. But thank you so much for the kind words, man. You were one of my biggest supporters from the moment. Like when you start off on YouTube, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get into a big speech now. When you start off on YouTube, there's always a point where you're like, is this working? Like, is anyone watching? Anyone at all? Like,
yeah, I know.
But Kenny had seen a couple of my videos, and like I would jump into like a chat and be like, hey, what's up? And he'd be like, Bear Island's here. You got to watch his videos. And I'm like, oh, Kenny's watching. I'll continue. I guess I'll continue. So,
yeah. Rookie of the year.
Early adopter. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Did you ever find those shirts that you lost at the one booth, by the way?
Dude.
Yeah, show it off, brother.
I didn't see you. And you want to know where they were? Right where you said. If you didn't say, oh, because I was like, fuck, where did I go after the T-shirt spot? Because I lost these 2 T-shirts. And
he had just bought these shirts, and it was a big decision-making process. We were all there. We were all part of it. Yeah. Very cool lady at the booth he bought them from. And then at some point, we're standing at the Comic Core booth, and he's like, I don't have my shirts.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I went back, beelined it to her thing, and I was like, did anyone turn in a couple shirts? No. And I was like, shit, where did I go from there? Because it's just a blur for me. But you had said, yeah, I think you bought those X-Men books after that shirt spot. So I was like, oh, yeah, I remember you said that. So I went back to that spot where I bought that Emma Frost cover X-Men. And sure enough, wedged between 2 short boxes was my bag of 2 shirts. And I was like, yes, it's right here. Oh.
Is Kavi discouraging himself?
I will not accept that. I will not tolerate that.
And John is not letting it happen. He's like, don't discourage yourself, Kavi.
Yeah.
You're awesome. Why would Kavi ever doubt himself? His star is on the rise. Kidding me?
Frank White, Don Dada, I feel like he's at his peak right now.
I heard a rumor there may be an AOK coming his way that might even enhance the quality of his videos. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, man. Whatever it is, I think he deserves it. All right. I think are we doing the Thanatos goodbye here?
I think so. I think D-Rock would call this a Midwest goodbye.
Oh.
It just takes forever. Like if you're at a party with a bunch of Midwesterners, you just hug each other like 7 times. By the way, I thought it was funny that I said goodbye to Alec because I didn't think I was going to see him again. And like we hung out for like 2 more hours after that.
Gotta love it.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Everyone in the chat, great. I appreciate everyone in the chat. Really, all like my favorites were in the chat during this video. So I appreciate your patronage to the 84 channel. Bear Island, I appreciate your friendship at the con and your companionship. We had a great time. The slideshow was top notch.
Dude, we bonded so hard at the con, man. It was
bonded hard and fast, brother.
Okay. We're just gonna leave that there. And we will never forget it.
All right, we're out. See you later.